Hello there YouTube, long time no see. I feel I must apologise for not being particularly active on YouTube of late. There have been various things in this real life, as it is sometimes referred to bafflingly, that have been preying upon my time, my creative and emotional energies, etc. And so I haven't had the inclination to record or to edit together any YouTube videos. Rest assured there are many in the can at the moment as we speak. I have all the raw footage for my video game collection for Toya 82TT. That's a bloody long one. I hope you've got a lot of patience, Toya. There's going to be a lot of videos there. I've edited together the first 4, and there's a lot of stuff. But it's one of those subjects I could just ramble on and on and on and on and on and on and on about. So I do apologise for that. They're going to be very rambly. One of the principal reasons I'm making this video is because I have some thank yous, some very big thank yous. I arrived home from auto assembly to find a package waiting for me, a very mysterious package from whom I did not know. But I opened it to find a collection of old US Transformers comics sent to me by Nelly Diddle, which is the sweetest thing imaginable. Thank you so much. I am taking great joy in those. I don't actually have any of the original US comics, but so that's wonderful. I will treasure those. Thank you. And I must also thank the unambiguously lovely Ray, I Love Mess, for allowing me to complete my HorrorCon collection. Yes, I have Apeface now. Thank you very much indeed. And I do love him, regardless of the criticisms that you could poke at him with his big mecha nappy of death, and the fact that his ape mode is composed entirely of kibble. I love him. I've been playing with him a lot. Actually, I've been playing with him more than I've been playing with my auto-assembly Transformers. Apart from one, that is. And that is this beauty. Oh, this is Universe Rat Bat, and I adore it. This is one of my favourite Transformers now. It was well worth buying the 2-pack for. Speaking of which, by the way, Paul, I'm very sorry I haven't got Springer out to you yet. He will be posted very shortly once I found a suitable box. He's all wrapped in bubble wrap. He's actually mummified in bubble wrap. It might take you a while to get into the damn thing, but he's all wrapped up and ready to go. Yes, one of the principal reasons I'm making this video is to say thank you to everyone, but oh Ray, thank you so much for this, and also for Metroplex, whom I love. Thank you. Yes, having lots of fun with him, even though I don't actually have room for it. It's down there in a hollow under my desk in city mode. It's lovely. Right next to Gigastorm, funnily enough. It looks great. Yes, I've been playing with Apeface in between bouts of writing. I found him to be a great distraction and focus for the writing. So, really, one of the reasons I'm making this video is because I've got a lot of comments and PMs since I started my channel, asking me why I do particular things or why I'm interested in particular things. And because my YouTube channel tends to straddle several different communities, distinct communities on YouTube, the atheist philosophical community, the toy collecting and transformer collecting community, the poetic and creative community, and so on and so forth, people from one tend to get confused when I make a video that's aimed at the other. And one thing I'm often asked is why do you play with toys? Why do you find toys so interesting? Not in an aggressive or critical way for the most part. No, it's genuine interest, and it's not something I analyse terribly deeply, I must admit. It's very visceral. I enjoy them. I find them fun. I find them interesting to have and to hold and to mess about with. But I can analyse it if you so wish. And one of the reasons I love Transformers in particular, I do adore Transformers, evidently. One of the many reasons is their aesthetics. They are, I find, beautiful things, and are becoming increasingly beautiful. I mean, this is one of the latter day Transformers, and it's stunning. It's rife with detail, it's movement and poses are just gorgeous, wonderful colour scheme. And also its transformation. Its transformation has been condemned by some as being overly complex. I disagree. I find it to be very well conceived and very elegant. And very intuitive as well. I didn't need any instructions for this guy. I found it very easy to work out how to transform him into both modes, with a minimum of fiddling, really. So it's one of the many reasons is that I find them aesthetically very beautiful to look at. Another reason is that ever since I was a child, I've always found toys to be wonderful foci for imagination. I was always more content as a child playing on my own with my toys as opposed to with other children. As I found then I had no distractions from the rather elaborate mythologies and scenarios I would concoct in my own mind around them and the characters that I would infuse them with. And this, to a certain degree, has developed into my overriding ambition to eventually be a published author of fiction. My imagination is now such a fundamental part of my psychological makeup that it is impossible to divorce it from any other part of my personality. It informs who I am to a very, very real and significant degree. And it's also the principal source from which I derive my consideration or my intelligence, or whatever it is you want to call it. My ability to consider particular concepts from a variety of angles. There's an excellent TED Talks director lecture, I can't quite remember who it's by, but it was stunning. If I can find it, I'll put up a link to it, in which it is professed that play, isolated play with toys or simply with one's own imagination as a child, is essential to one's personal, intellectual and emotional development, and it's something that as adults we tend to lose. Even though it's not terribly healthy to do so, we lose it because largely of the cultural stigma that to play is somehow childish or it's beneath us as adults. And what this actually results in is in a stunting of the imagination and a narrowing of perception and of intellect. What playing allows us to do is exactly the same thing as imagining or reading a book or watching a movie or a play or whatever. It allows us to consider things in the abstract. It is exercise for the imagination. And considering things in the abstract is, in a very real way, the most essential thing that separates us from our closest animal relatives. And it is also the seat of what has allowed us to progress as a race, as a species, so far, very, very far beyond any other life form on this planet. It represents the very highest, I believe, in us as human beings. That is our capacity for art, for self-examination, for development and progression, for self-evolution, if you like. But that is, of course, a somewhat over-intellectualized answer, I would argue. I really don't think that my appreciation for toys and for Transformers and whatnot bears any more explanation than another adult's love of football, or something to that effect. Which is not something I appreciate, but it is something I understand the appreciation of, if you like. I enjoy toys because I enjoy them. It's, in many respects, it's the same situation as art for art's sake and beauty for beauty's sake, both of which are perspectives I adhere to quite fundamentally. Toys for me represent joy for joy's sake, play for play's sake, and I have yet to come across any good reason to put them down.